Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It has been forever since I uploaded something here. So I have this family that I play. It is absolutely ginormous, at least like the family tree is ginormous, and I wanted to show you the household that I'm currently playing, but I thought, you know what, maybe I should start with the background first since it's quite complicated. So here I am, showing you the background of my current household. I hope you have fun with it. Um, yeah, I guess that's the start. So I have everything written down so I don't forget anything. So I started playing with one sim a long time ago. Her name was Tegan Hammond, and if you might think that sounds very familiar, it is familiar because I actually took some ideas from Girl Meets Pixels from YouTube. I took like the idea of her sim and her name because I really liked her family and I kind of wanted to replicate it for myself. It's not stealing, it's just I'm a big fan of hers, so that's why I did that. So I named her Tegan Hammond as well. I made her also orange haired and gave her green eyes. This is her, this is a picture of her. So she's my founder. She moved to Sunset Valley. I wanted her to go to university because I don't really play university that often, so I figured I would play university with her. So she went to university, she met some people, went to a lot of parties, and then she met Aaron. His name is Aaron Matthews. He was the barista in university, and I thought he was really cute. So I thought, why not use him? Well, okay, not use him. Why not, marry him and have kids with him? The way Sims goes. So I got them together and I got them married. She became a journalist. He went into the military career. I'm just getting rid of that. So yeah, they were living together in Sunset Valley, and the same as Girl Meets Pixels, I wanted them to have 5 kids and give them the same names. Again, it's not stealing, it's just I'm a big fan and I wanted to replicate her family. So they had, let me just see if I can, 5 kids. By the way, this is my family echo. Girl Meets Pixels also uses it, or used it, and I thought it was brilliant. So I'm using it now. So yeah. Sorry. So they had Jack first. Here is Jack Matthews. He was the oldest. When he grew up, he became a private detective. How do you call it? Like PI, I think, private investigator. I made him gay because I don't know why. I just felt like it. Back when Tegan was in university, she made really good friends with Ashley De Sorrento, I think her name was. I moved Ashley back with her to Sunset Valley, and she married Connor Frio, and she had 5 kids. She had Joss, Miranda, Dewey, LeVar, and Tori. And the oldest Joss married Jack, and they adopted a little girl called Jeanette. So that's Jack Matthews. Their family tree doesn't go any further. I will explain that later. Second, they had Aubrey. Aubrey also went to university there. She met Harry Oakes. So she became Aubrey Oakes. Aubrey, I can't actually remember her profession. Usually I have whatever I have like their details written down, but hers I just literally cannot remember. Sorry. So she met Harry in university. They got married. They had 3 kids, Parker, Ross, and Nicole. Harry actually was a ghost hunter, but I didn't really play with them because I had all these people in one town, so I had to like switch between them. Third, Tegan and Aaron had Nate. Nate Matthews. Nate is their son. But I will come back to him later because he has a very, very large and complicated family tree. So then they had Stella and Madeline. They were twin girls, as you can see here. Very cute picture. They were twin girls. Stella and Madeline went to university together. I can't remember their bachelor or master or whatever. But yeah, Stella married some guy called Reginald. Nothing really came off of that. Madeline married Hank Goddard. Hank was actually a fairy in my town back then. Sorry about that. They had 4 children. They had Peyton, Ezra, Derek, and Hank. His name is Hank because Madeline was actually pregnant of Hank while her husband Hank died, so she named her son after her husband. They're all fairies, by the way, because Madeline and Hank are both fairies. At least I made Madeline a fairy. Now back to Nate. I hope it's not going too fast. I didn't want to take it too slow because it might take very long. So I hope it's not going too fast. I might slow down a bit. So Nate was the third son. Nate was the only one with actual orange hair, same as his mother. Nate married Jamie Jelena, from, one of the townies from Sunset Valley. Jamie was actually a fairy, again, as well. And they had 2 children. They had twins, both orange hair and green eyes. They had Aaron Matthews and Tegan Matthews, named after Nate's parents, except Aaron Matthews, I changed his name later on because I didn't really like it anymore. Except before Nate married Jamie, and I am constantly forgetting this, he actually made his imaginary friend real. Her name was Cosmo Matthews, and they had a daughter called Tanika Matthews, but they split up and Nate got to know Jamie. So yeah, let's see if I forgot anything. Nope. Okay, so I was kind of bored with the family and with the town, so I took Aaron Matthews. I called him Austin James. It's just a name that I liked. And I moved him to Meadow Glen. He went to university. He wanted to become a scientist. In university, he met Marcy. They first were best friends. Marcy actually needed a place to stay, so Austin invited her to stay with him, just for the time being. Yeah. I might forget something, but that's okay. So Austin and Marcy were just best friends before. Austin became a scientist. Marcy actually became a police officer. And she had multiple boyfriends before, but one night someone at their house died, and Marcy was like really, really sad, and she went to Austin for comfort. And actually, she always liked him. She always loved him. So while in her, sobbing mood, she confessed her love to him, and they kissed, and one thing led to another, and they had Keaton James, and then Austin was like, we should just get together, we should just get married and just, have a bigger family. So they got married, and Austin, being a scientist, he liked to experiment a lot with things, and he found a forbidden seed and planted it, and they got Faya. Faya is a plant sim. So they had Keaton and Faya, and then Marcy got pregnant with their second son, who was Benjamin. I don't actually have a different picture of him because he never actually grew up. I'll let you know that later. Then Austin got abducted by an alien. They had BB. And then Marcy was like, I really want a daughter of my own. So they tried for one last time, and they had Clara. So, yeah, that's it for that family. And then Keaton moved out, but I did something really stupid. I had Keaton move out, and then I saved his save file under the exact same name as his parents, so I lost his parents' save file, which sucked. I was very, very sad because of that, because then I couldn't play with Keaton and Clara and the rest anymore. So I continued played with Keaton. Keaton wanted to be a musician really badly, so he moved to Bridgeport and he tried to become a musician, but he couldn't really do it. So he was like, maybe I should just go to university first, get a degree, and then try again. So he went to university. He got a fine arts degree, and at the university he met a beautiful girl named Marcia. Marcia was a very shy, introvert kind of person, but Keaton liked that about her, and she kind of liked his extrovert part. So Keaton and Marcia eventually got together. It took them a while, but they got together. They moved to Storybrooke County. So Keaton became a musician. Marcia was actually in the politician career. Yeah, Marcia was in a politician career, and they had Avery. Um, Quite soon after they had Noah, so they had Avery and Noah, two kids, and then right they lived in Strawberry County, and then the town wouldn't work for me. It just kept crashing my game, so I was like, I'm done with this. I'm gonna move back to Sunset Valley. Sort of like Keen wanted to be more in touch with his family, pretending that they still lived there, even though it was a different save file that I lost. So they moved to Sunset Valley, and there, Avery, as a teenager, met Mortimer Goth. She really liked him, and she had a crush on him, and they got together for a very short time. But then something happened because Avery and Mortimer, they woohooed once, and Avery got pregnant. So she was a teenage mom. She didn't tell her parents. She didn't tell Mortimer. And when she had the baby, her parents obviously found out, and they were absolutely furious with her. And Mortimer broke up with her because he was too scared to be a dad at such a young age. So Avery was a single mom and a teenager. She was also best friends with Bella Bachelor at the time, so Bella was like there for her. So she had her parents, she had Bella, so it went alright in the end. When Avery was a child, she actually had the dream to have her own horse. She always wanted to get her own horse, so she started saving for it. And when she got older, she was like, I'm gonna have my own breeding business. I want to breed horses. I want to train horses and sell them, and make money that way. So, when her son Mason, who's like her son with Mortimer, that she had as a teenager, when her son Mason grew up into a child, Avery went to university, she got her business degree, and then she took Mason with her to Appaloosa Plains. And she asked Mortimer, he's your son, he needs you, could you please come with us? And he said, yeah, okay, I will do that. And Bella came with them as well because she wanted to be there for her best friends. So Avery, Mortimer, Bella, and Mason all moved to Appaloosa Plains. Of course, Mortimer and Bella didn't actually live with Avery. They lived together at a different house. Let me just see if I'm forgetting something. I wrote everything down, but I'm really scared that I'm forgetting something. So yeah, while Avery was in university, her parents, of course, were watching Mason. So Avery was living with Mason. He was a child, and then Mortimer and Bella got together, actually. They got married. They had 2 daughters, Shamika and Joelle. Mason aged into a teenager, and he got a girlfriend called Benny Hennessy, her name was. She had like a very, Hennessy. Benny used to date Cruz Martingale, but he was an adult, so she couldn't date him anymore, so she broke up with him, and Cruz hated Mason for that, for stealing his girl, and Mason hated Cruz for that. But then Avery kind of started liking Cruz, because he was like this young, cool dude. And so they started dating, and Mason absolutely hated that, so he moved out of his mom's house. Cruz moved in. Mason and Benny moved in together. Cruz and Avery had a son called Jack. They got married, and then they had Jack. But when Jack became a toddler, Cruz was like, nah, I can't do this. This is too much for me. I'm moving out. I'm divorcing you. I'm very sorry, but I'm out of here. So Avery was a single mom again. Cruz eventually got a boyfriend, so it was clear that he was not in the mood for a wife and kids because he was gay. So Avery was a single mom again. Mortimer was married and had 2 daughters. Mason and Benny actually got 2 daughters, Gladys and Jeannie. And Avery was like, what about me? But then the entire time that they lived in Appaloosa Plains, Mortimer actually never stopped loving Avery. He kept sending her love letters, like literally every day almost. She got a love letter from Mortimer. And Mortimer felt really bad for Avery. And he loved Bella, but not really like very passionate, romantic, more like sister kind of like. So he divorced Bella. Bella took her daughters and the dogs that they had, and she moved out. And Mortimer was like, I'm gonna tell Avery how I feel. So he confessed his love to her, and Avery was a little bit hesitant. She was like, you know, you left me before. What makes me, um, like, why wouldn't you do it again? But then she thought, you know, he left me, but he actually came with me to Appaloosa Plains. He left his parents, he left his ginormous house to be with his son. So she eventually forgave him, and Avery and Mortimer got together. So, you know, all was well in the end. They made up with Mason. So now Mason's parents are back together. Avery still had Jack, but Jack's dad like moved away when he was a toddler, so he doesn't really remember him. So Avery and Mortimer got together, and they had one more son called Hunter. So Mason and Benny had two daughters. Avery had Jack and Hunter together with Mortimer. So everything went well in the end, except for Bella, of course, who was alone. Oh, and by the way, Joelle, Mortimer's youngest daughter, actually wanted to live with their dad. So before Mortimer moved in with Avery, Joelle actually moved in with Mortimer. So now Avery and Mortimer are living together with Joelle, Hunter, and Jack. So they have a cute little family, of course, with all their horses as well. So that's that for Avery, I think. Now back to Avery's brother, because she has a brother called Noah. Noah became a doctor. And I actually have one more family that I like to play, the McLean family, and they had 3 children, one a daughter with black hair and blue eyes, and I thought she would be absolutely perfect for Noah. But she was at the time dating a girl, I think. Yeah, she was dating a girl, and she was in university with her girlfriend and her best friend. But then I figured, you know, she's not really a lesbian. She was just trying things out. So she broke up with her girlfriend, and then her and her best friend moved to Sunset Valley, and they needed a really cheap place to stay because they both didn't really have good jobs or a lot of money. And Noah's parents were like, you know, we have room left because your sister left, so they can stay here for really cheap. So Noah and Amara, her name was Amara, actually met because she lived in his house for cheap rent, pretty much. So yeah, Noah and Mara, they started liking each other, and eventually they got married, and they wanted to have kids quite soon because Noah's parents were really old and, you know, soon to die, and he really wanted to give his parents grandchildren before they died. So they got pregnant, and they actually had triplets. Like, I was trying for twins, but they literally had triplets. So they had Luca, Macy, and Levi. I have a picture of all three here, and I'm gonna put pictures of them later when they grow older. So they had triplets, and that's, you know, that's quite something, but, you know, I live with it. And they're now children. This picture's a little bit old. They're now children, so they're like super cute. So that is so far the James family. I think I went over it a little bit fast, but it's super interesting to play. It's a lot of fun, and I love making more stories and love having ginormous backgrounds and whatnot. I mean, look at this. It's ginormous. Absolutely love it. Okay, so after the James family, I'm going to give you some fun facts, because every time that I add someone to the family, I also add their family. So when I add a townie, from example, Sunset Valley, and he has family, then I add that family to the family tree. So I looked up some family members that have like extra family that you know, and it's kind of fun to see what happened to them. So going to Mortimer Goth, his mom died, and his father actually remarried. He married Sandy Goth. Her name used to be Sandy French. And they had Noelle, a daughter, and a son called Francis. So that's, you know, that's just a fun fact. Then the James family actually lives next to Agnes Crumplebottom, who is the sister of Cornelia Goth, and Agnes Crumplebottom was alone. How can I get back to her? Hold on. Very, very confusing. There you go. Agnes Crumplebottom. Her husband died. Eric Darling died Sorry. Sorry about that. So, I had her adopt a son called Eric Grumplebottom. I named him after, her late husband. And Eric became a teenager. She married. She married Monty O'Loughlin. I don't know who he is, but she got married. And then Eric Crumplebottom actually started dating Noelle Goth, who is Gunter Goth's daughter. So yeah. And then Bella's brother Michael Batchelor actually married River McIrish. They don't have any kids yet. I hope they will. But yeah, they got married. And then back to Noah. Sorry if this is confusing. It's even confusing to me. Noah married Amara McLean. Amara McLean came from a family who lived in Simla Isles. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. They lived on an island because her father, Oscar, was actually a merman. They had Amara before he became a merman, so she's not a mermaid. They had a son called Finn McLean, who is a magician, and a daughter called Lana McLean, who is actually a mermaid, and she is in university. Sorry. She's in university trying to get her business degree to set up her own resort empire. So those were all the fun facts. I hope you enjoyed this video, and give it a thumbs up if you did, and stay tuned because soon there will be videos of my actual current households. There will be videos of Amara and Noah, of Avery and Mortimer, and of Lana. So stay tuned. Bye.